it says it's recording, so this is good. Guys, do me a favor if you just came on, and this is Diane Hochman, as I said, Monday Night Madness. Could you raise your hand, let us know that you, I always want to make sure, because thank you, Bob, thanks, Chad, because gosh knows me, I'll just go rambling for an hour. We do that on the phone. We're on the phone, and the phone will disconnect, and I don't know, Kathy's gone. I'm still going and blowing. It's like a half an hour later, she's making fun of me. No, I'm kidding. Guys, tonight, I have some serious stuff I want to work on with you. I hope you have a notebook. If you haven't been here before, I always kid around at the beginning of the call. And Kathy, if there's anybody you want to bring over, bring them over. If there's any of our old buddies. If not, it's me and you. I'm good. Guys, I do not do traditional webinars. So if you're brand new here, I just kind of go and blow. I just kind of, you know, as they talk about in jazz, I riff. Sharing information, sharing content, my 13 years of experience in the industry. So it's always crazy. It's always manic. Generally, Kathy, right? A lot of fun.
Absolutely a lot of fun, but also a lot of learning.
Yes, I was going to say, but we can always guarantee that you're going to walk away with some marketing wisdom that will really help you in your business. What you're looking at right now is my Facebook page, not my profile, but my page, which is at Diane Hochman, facebook.com/Diane Hochman training. We'll probably take, you know, we could do Q&A over here. I love when you write me on the wall because it's easier. You can say something or write something if you have questions and stuff. You can do it in the Q&A box, but then it's harder because everybody can't see and share. But if there's some secret, you know, if you want to make fun of me to Kathy Heath, feel free. She will be the one, which I know you guys do behind my back.
Yes, we do.
And before we get into the meat of the call, guys, this graphic that you're seeing here is from the Home Business Radio Network. I do a show on the Home Business Radio Network. You can find it at, I've said it 6 times now, homebusinessradionetwork.com. If you guys haven't checked that out, let me close some of these. I got every window under the sun open. Can you tell I was just totally not, I paid the mortgage today, Kathy, which is always good, I think.
That's always a good thing, Diane. Yep.
Yeah, I think it's good. Paying the mortgage. It's almost done, Kathy. I'm so close. I'm trying to like push more money. Oh, that's not what I want. I'm trying to push more money because the mortgage is going to be bye-bye soon, and that makes me excited. Guys, if you haven't met me before or don't know my story, when I started this, I was $40,000 in credit card debt, student loans, this is that, the next thing. We were pretty much in a lot of mess. And so the idea that I'm 45 years old, have paid off all my debt, and I'm about to be, you know, very close to being mortgage free. And then it's just all smooth sailing from here. The kids are 16 and 19, so they'll be done with school. We're in pretty good shape. So it makes me really excited to share what I did with people. I'm not here to show you how to get the quick hit, get rich quick, all that stuff. I'll leave that to some of my colleagues out there. They'll show you all that stuff. I'm here to show you how to get free, because that's what I believe in. And I have almost, not 100% quite done it, but I'm pretty darn close, and it'll be soon, so I'm excited about it. Guys, this is the Home Business Radio Network. It's still loading. Sometimes it takes a few minutes for it to load up. But it's neat because you can put it on your cell phone. You can download the app for your cell phone, your iPhone or your Android, so you can bring it with you. We also now have, where is it here? There's a widget that you can add. Here it is. See, Kathy, I don't know if you saw this yet. You can add this widget to your blog.
I did not see that. That's cool.
Home Business Radio Network right onto your blog. You can listen to it while you're working, whatever, but also your viewers and people will see it. If you have a team and you want to hand them really good quality stuff, you can't go wrong here. 100% generic, really quality stuff. Everything from basic, old school, traditional marketing right up to fancy dancy. I mean, we got Stephen Pierce, you know, major internet marketers. So, and for some reason, these graphics don't want to load, but I love them. They look so pretty. So, so that's the Home Business Radio Network. Definitely check it out. And then I always like people to, you know, tweet me and stuff. Let me know if there's a topic that you want me to cover. I do have guests come in now and again. So that would be awesome, and that's what that graphic is from. So I wrote something crazy. Let's see, did Bob say something to me? I think Bob said something to me. We got to check and see what Bob.
Speaking of Bob, he's back here
Oh,
with
he's
us.
quoting me. Thank you, Bob.
He's
Thank
back
you,
here with us now.
What was that, Kathy?
I said, speaking of Bob, he's back here with us now.
Kathy, did I lose you?
I don't know.
Oh, it's me. It's my thing. What did you say?
I said, speaking of Bob, he's back here with us now.
Bob, what's going on?
Yeah, can you hear me now?
I can't. What are you, Verizon boy? I talked to Rosemary the other day. I'm sure she told you that was a delight.
She did. She was excited.
Awesome, awesome, awesome. So this is what we're going to do, and of course I'm always writing some inflammatory comment, which got me into trouble today, but hey, I'm used to trouble. Is it truth or is it just bull? I don't know if you guys can see. I didn't write it, but I kind of wrote it with expletives. Question mark, question mark, question mark, $10,000 in 7 days. And then it said, join me tonight, which you have, all of you people, as I dissect, Bob's a scientist, so dissect, I probably spelled that wrong too, how I do what I do, and then you can decide, okay? And then I also put not a pitch, webinar, serious content. We all see, I mean, guys, have you seen, you always see these crazy things, 4,362 leads in a day, and how I have $1,000 days, and how I do this, and have you guys seen all these claims all over the internet?
Absolutely.
Yes, I have.
Yeah. I mean, all the time. It gets to a point where it's, let's go back over to my page. You know, any given time, if I were to scroll down, if I hit Facebook and I scroll down, I'm going to see this all day. Anywhere we go on the internet, anytime we go in, you know, any of our travels in this industry, we're going to see these outrageous stories. And I have to tell you, I used to think they were all poopy. I used to think they were all baloney. Okay, because it was ridiculous. How can somebody generate 7,962 leads in a day? How can somebody make $12,364 in a day? How can somebody do this and how can somebody do that? Mm-hmm. But over time, I've come to do it, to do these things. And not the leads. I'm not big into the lead generation. Other people do. I could tell you who to teach you that stuff and everything else. But the money and the days and the weeks and so on. They are absolutely 100% true. Now, if somebody's obviously making false income claims, one, they're going to get in trouble with the FTC. They're going to get in trouble with the Attorney General. They're going to get locked up. They're never going to see their kids again. They're going to meet a guy named Bubba who's going to make them their boyfriend or girlfriend. You know what I'm saying? So you don't want to do that, kids. Okay? Do not, I repeat, do not make income claims on the internet or in writing that you cannot substantiate literally with an affidavit, okay? Because if you do, I promise you, you will get in trouble, okay? And that's why we see a lot of people talking about leads and other things that you can't get in trouble. Nobody, the FTC can't come in and beat you up for claiming how many leads you generated, I guess. So, and now everybody's going to go claim they generated leads. But you see a lot of other stories. But income claims, how long ago was that, Kathy? A couple of years ago? It became It was bad before, like the rules were strict before, but then they became like hyper strict, and we had to change everything, and now we have to have disclaimers on our emails and on our things, and they have to, guys, if you watch TV, any of the get-rich-quick infomercials, they have to have disclaimers. Weight loss commercials have to, you know how you'd see results not typical back in the day? Well, now you'll see results not typical in a study of this many people got this result, and so on. MLMs have to put out a report on their income disclosures, the real levels of income that people are achieving. They have so long before they have to put out these official reports. And every year when everything gets filed, if you look on the page of any of your MLMs, you're going to find their income disclosures. So, and you guys should really look at those at some point because it's kind of scary when you realize, guys, we've always learned, everybody hates me because I burst their bubbles, but you can either believe that I'm bursting your bubble tonight or I'm giving you the reality so you can hit your dreams. I wanted the real deal. I wanted the reality. I didn't want the hype. I wanted to know, how do I really do this? I wanted to know, how do you have a $10,000 week? How do you have a $10,000 day? And I wanted to model the people that were doing it. So bottom line, if you want to make 6 figures and more, you need to become in the top 10%, really more like the top 5 or 3%. And if you go look at the income disclosures from any of your companies and programs, if you look at the numbers, you'll see that that's true. You guys have always heard about the, here, let's write this down. What do we got over here? We got something that we shouldn't have here? What do we got? Oh, that's secret. Nobody can see that, Kathy. That's secret. They're trying to write it down quick while I move it. Quick, that's secret. See, I haven't taken it down, Kathy, because it's
I
so
see
good.
that. I see that.
It's so good. What's this? What's on here? Okay, this can go away. This can go away. See, I always have a notepad up with something going on. So if you guys are not in any of my secret classes, you don't get that junk. Anyway, I know, it's evil, it's mean. You think I accidentally leave that stuff up, Kathy? It's not an accident at all.
No, I know you. I know you too well. No.
And they see just a flash enough to go, wait a minute, there was something really good in there. All right. Holy schmoly, what was I saying? I was saying something good. We were talking about income disclosure. Oh, Pareto principle. You guys know what this is? I know you guys know. Who in the crowd, not you two, who in the crowd knows, raise your hand, who knows what the Pareto principle is? And then if you could, write it over on the Diane Hochman wall there. It's facebook.com/Diane Hochman training. Who knows what the Pareto principle is?
Not many.
Let's see. Really? They're saying no. Raise your hand if you know what the Pareto principle is. When I say it by another name, they'll know what it is. Who knows? Raise your hand if you know what the Pareto principle is. Wow. All right, Drew and Ernesto, you get a gold star. Jim gets a gold. Jim knows everything now. Jim's an old school dude that knows this game. He knows it, man. Let's see. Who else? Anybody else raise your hand? Griffin knows everything.
Yeah, he does.
Right? Rankin knows. All right, good. Some other people are like, I didn't raise my hand, but I know. Tom Bradley knows. He just doesn't raise his hand. Tom DeMeo knows. He doesn't raise his hand. Okay. So cool. Listen, if I said the 80-20 rule, would that change things for you guys? Now, let me put the hands down. How many of you guys know what the 80-20 rule is? 80-20 rule. Okay, hands are going up now. A lot more hands are going up. Busta, what's going on, Busta? Kowalski's here. All right, good. Dean Prochnow, how the heck are ya? See, I love when old friends come by. Makes me happy. Okay, so good. Jasmine, you girl, I can't wait to see you. Okay, 80-20 rule, which is, 80% of sales is going to be done by 20% of the people. 80% of production is going to be done by 20% of the people. 80% of everything will be done by 20%. Okay, so if we know this, we know that you have no choice. Here we go with Diane's typing again. Why I have adopted this new thing where I type things is beyond me. Torture. It's like, like Chinese water torture or something. Other people drip water on your forehead or they waterboard you or whatever that is. I type for you. You must become in the top 20%, okay? Because we all know, and I have tested this over and over and over again. Go look it up. Go look at Wikipedia and look at Pareto principle. It's true, okay? 80% of your money goes to 20% of your stuff. Think about it. It's like your mortgage and one other thing. If you put down all your bills, 80% of your income goes to 20% of your expenses. So on, so forth. It's just across the board. Now, somebody's going to go, no, not in my case. Okay, you're the funky exception. But generally speaking, it's 80-20. And so first of all, if we know that to be true, just look around and you know it to be true, and I know it from having done this for years. 80% of my income comes from 20% of my revenue stream, so on and so forth, which I don't like, Kathy. I like it to be the other way, but it just kind of works out that way.
Right.
We know that we have to make ourselves in the top 20%, period. And then if we go back to the old 3%ers stuff about, in network marketing, they always talk about the 3%ers being those top earners. If you really want to, if you want to be full-time, you got to be in the top 20%. And if you really want to make big money, you got to get yourself to the top 5 to 3%. It is what it is, what it is. I didn't make it up. I'm just the messenger. So if we know this, and if we know we want to have $10,000 weeks or more, The reason why I'm using this is because not this past week, but the week before, I recruited 93 people and made $10,000. It sounds insane. Do I do that every week? Absolutely not. Do I do that most weeks? Absolutely not. Yeah, can I make that claim? Can I write that information? Yes. Will a lot of people get attracted just because it sounds sexy? Mm-hmm. Yes. So we want to create stories, and we want to create something that excites and stimulates people. Now, I'm going to say bad things. There's a lot of boys on the phone. Bob, do you think they're grown up to handle it?
Yeah, they're big boys. They're
big boys. I'm looking down the list. I think they're mostly big boys. Guys, it's real simple. Oh, Carol, I'm going to offend you. I don't want to offend you. I'm looking to see who's here if I'm going to get in trouble for saying bad things. Listen, when we're dating, back in the day, okay, I've been married for almost 22 years. Kathy, how many years you got? You got like 25, right?
Yeah, we're going on 26.
Yeah, Bob, if you add all of your years of marriage, how many did you have altogether? Adam.
Ouch.
No, I'm not being ouchy. I'm just saying you've been married a long time. It just wasn't to the same person. But
23.
Yeah, so you're in the same range. You know what I'm talking about. But my point being that it's been a long time since we've been dating, us guys. Maybe some of you guys are out there dating. But guys, when we go dating, okay, what we do, the girls do anyway, is they put on a little lipstick. I'm going to say something bad. I'm going to get in trouble. Ready, Kathy? They put on a push-up bra, okay? You're wearing something a little hotter. We're showing her, as I was teaching in a class the other day, we're showing a little leg. And the reason why is because we want to be exceptionally attractive. Well, when we get into marketing, see, it's like a catch-22 because you got to have a story to be attractive. You got to have something kind of sexy to be attractive, but how do you get the story if you're not attractive in the first place and people go around in a circle? Okay? And I'm going to teach you tonight how this is done. Okay? And again, disclaimer, 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 disclaimer for the 45,000th time. Never, ever, ever make claims that aren't true. I watch people that do it, and I also watch people that I know well enough that they're fudging the truth, even though what they're writing on paper in court is okay. It's really misleading. So you want to walk a line of integrity, but just because she put up on a push-up bra and just because she put on some lipstick doesn't mean she's not a woman of virtue. Do you guys follow what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. As long as we can get a little sexy in our marketing, but we don't want to walk down a road that really is funky. Because when you do, it'll come back and bite you in the butt. I've watched it time and time and time again. So now that I've preached at you, and now that you're sick and tired of that, let's talk money. Let's talk about getting down to it, okay?
Hey, Diane.
Yes, Bob?
This is going to be a little harder for the guys, I think, because we just walk around going, hey, you want to go home with me?
Exactly, and you get slapped a lot, don't you?
Exactly. So
exactly.
It's a little harder for the guys.
It doesn't work well that way. And in fact, if you market like a guy, which is, hey, baby, let's go, hey, baby, let's go, hey, baby, let's go, you get slapped a lot and people don't respect you. On the flip side, if you market like a floozy girl, sorry guys, I'm just using this, I'm just fooling around having fun, and you go home with somebody new every other night, right? If you're in a new program every other day and you got this and you got that, and you're just always, clearly leaving every night a little tipsy with a different guy, then by the time 3 months have gone by, you have no credibility left. So therefore, nobody of virtue will consider you for the long term. So I use dating as an analogy a lot for marketing because it's so true. It's like, well, how do I get the cute guy if I don't show a little bit, but if I show a little bit, will he get the wrong idea? How do I get the prospects if I don't have this crazy story stuff? But if I don't have a crazy story stuff, how do I get them? And it goes back and forth. It's like this catch-22. And there is a way, and that's what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about packaging stories, and we're going to talk about how to take your story to a higher and higher level so you become more and more attractive. We're going to talk about how to accumulate a big enough list so that you can't help but, if you have a good offer and a good list, I mean, it took me 2 emails and a webinar to make $10,000. It's not complicated. And anybody who knows me, Bob knows me, Kathy knows, a lot of you guys know me, you know how dingy I am. So if Dingbat can do it, what could you do? What could you do? Because I'm like the ADHD queen of North America. I have a union card, okay? I am like, serious. Kathy calls me up in the morning, and she's like, you don't sound like yourself. I'm like, what do I sound like? She goes, I don't know. You don't sound like yourself. And I'm like, Kathy, I'm weird. What do you, how long have you known me? I'm weird. So if somebody like me, who is not the most organized, not the best at this, and that, if somebody like me could overcome all the hurdles, like sometimes I meet these people and they're all into efficiency and organization and time management. To me, time management is getting to the bathroom before I go in my pants because I'm so busy, distracted. Tracy Household, she's on the line, is laughing because she's a school psychologist and she works with kids with ADHD. I get so wrapped up in whatever I'm doing. I can't like pull myself away to go to the bathroom. And it worked good when I was 25, but now I'm 45. It's getting, messed up. So far, Bob, this is what's happening. People that don't know me have come to the webinar, and so far they've heard me talking about push-up bras,
and bodily functions,
and wetting your pants.
So either they're intrigued and like it, or they're like, who is this woman? Just like the guy today that was mad at me. I came to one of your webinars and I never want to come to one again. Okay? Okay.
That's fine.
Don't come. You're not invited anymore, so there. So, okay. So, serious. The guy was like really edgy with me. He's probably on the line right now because he's like, what is she talking about? Okay. Anyway. So first of all, I want you to stand up and I want you to make a decision. If we know that the Pareto principle is real, okay, and you can go read the debates or whatever, but you know that this is largely real. If we know this is real, then you have no choice but to make a decision that you will stand up and you will become in the top 20%. How do you become in the top 20% in this industry? Do anything. Serious.
Yes, sir.
Because so many people get into this industry and do nothing. My mentor taught me that they peak. This sounds so cold, it's so mean. I'm into repeating these mean things that I was taught a long time ago. People peak the day they sign on the dotted line. They sign up and then they shut down. Don't let that be you. Don't let that be you. The resources and the training, there's never been a time where you can access more training like this. It's like, it's funny, I'll hang out in my Facebook groups with my groups. Guys, I have a group for my attraction marketing team. I have a group for my MLM team. I have a group for my big ticket program team. I have a public group. Let's show that to everybody in a minute and they can all join it. I have all these things. I'm available. I'm on Facebook 5 out of 7 days, almost all day, and then the other 2 days you might catch me, I'm on my cell phone, I'm with my kids or something. I'm almost always available. And yet people will sit and go, I don't know what to do, there's no help. That's a decision we all make. And I'm challenging you, do not let 2012 end. We're halfway through. Do not let 2012 end without stepping up to the plate. So we know we must be in the top 20%. Here's what we know if we're working online, okay? If we're working online, we know we must build a list. We know that. How do we build a list? There's 10,000 different ways. Now, all of us, many of us that are here tonight, we use something called My Lead System Pro. It has training on everything soup to nuts, including your capture pages, etc. I encourage you to get back to the person that invited you here tonight, whether it was me, Kathy, Bob, or somebody else, and say, hey, listen, I want a 10-day trial. I'm not pitching you. I don't care if you use this or not. Are there other vehicles and vessels for this? Yes, there are. This is the one that I found that has the best training library and the best support, et cetera, et cetera. They have all kinds of webinars and classes and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Get back to the person that invited you here, because you should have been invited by one of the gang, and say, hey, listen, Diane was talking about that Lead System Pro thing. I want a 10-day trial. I want to check it out. I want to come in your group. I want to hang out with you guys, and I want to see what you guys are doing. You don't like it in 10 days? Leave. See you later. Okay? But we must build a list. How do I build a list? You collect and capture people. You do that by running ads. You can do it with flyers. You can do it with signs. You can do it with bulk email. You could do it with Facebook pay-per-click. You could do it with Google pay-per-click. You could do it. I mean, I could go on all day. And here's what's crazy. I doubt that there's anybody on the line tonight that doesn't know this.
Oh.
I doubt, Kathy, don't you too? I mean, look down the
Yeah,
list.
I'm
Do you
looking
think that
down the list.
do you think that there's anybody here that doesn't know that these are the ways that we do this?
No, they all know this.
Yeah, video marketing, audio
Yep.
marketing,
Yep.
all these things. None of them are complicated. Again, if Dingbat Girl can do it. Didn't I call you the other day, Kathy? I couldn't edit. I was trying to edit an audio. I was trying to make a
Yeah.
presentation video for something, and it had to get done like then. And I tried for 2 hours, and I was like slamming my head against the wall. Finally, I'm like, Kathy, help me. You know, but I try. And that's how you learn. You get aggravated. So we must build a list. There is no choice. If you have been, now again, there's choice. You cannot. But if you want to send out 2 emails, do 1 webinar, and make $10,000, this is how we do it. This is how we do it. I'm dancing. This is how we do it. Next time I'll put it on the webcam, okay? So you have to decide today, I need to be in the top 20%. I need to build a list. I need to learn how to build a list. By the way, what did we have last week? No Excuses had their incredible launch of their home study course. I don't know where I ended up. I was number 3. I was number 3 out of all the top marketers. I might have ended up number 5 or something. I don't know. It was Tim Irway, Ray Higdon, and me, I think.
Yeah.
Wasn't it, Kathy?
So.
I don't remember.
Yeah, I think so.
So those of you that are affiliates for that, you know. Again, Digital Dingbat has no clue, put together a cool offer, sent it out. It was a win-win. I literally gave away something to people to help them out, and I'm one of their top affiliates. Did I do anything special? No. But if I didn't have the list to send the offer into, nothing would exist. Now this week coming up, next Monday, write down on your calendar, 9 p.m. Eastern, next Monday, Ray Higdon will be in with us. As of tomorrow, it will be all Ray Higdon all the time on the internet. You will be so tired of Ray Higdon by the time he comes to my webinar next week, because there's a huge industry-wide launch. And we will tease him and make fun of him next Monday night. Please feel free to come down and heckle the boy, but he really has a great product. Kathy, great product, right?
Oh, my gosh, yeah.
Yeah. And Kathy already in his pre-launch sold like 40 some odd of them. You know, she sold them like hotcakes. You know, she participated in that. So she's one of his top affiliates right now. You know, we have that launch coming up. Again, if you would like to make money with all of these things, I'm showing you what you need. Brendan Burchard, a couple weeks ago, I was in his top 30, and this was like, for Brendan Burchard, this was like with Frank Kern and Ed Dale. These are like, these are not like the people in our industry. These are the people in the whole internet marketing world, people that have 500,000 person lists. You'd be stunned if you saw how small my list is compared to any of these guys. You got to have a list. Have I convinced you, by a show of hands, have I convinced you that you need to build a list starting now if you haven't done it? Show of hands. And I know who's not paying attention, and I'm going to come pick on you. So like 3 people are convinced. The rest of you, what do you want me to tell you? How do you want me to convince you? Oh, good. Denise Williams Shannon, you need to call me tomorrow. We need to get together. So yeah, so people are raising their hands, and some people are, and Greg Billings too. Email me, get a hold of me. You need to build the list, and you need to build it now. Because if you have the list, here's what you're missing out on. No list equals missed opportunities.
Yep.
Last week, why am I sharing these stories with you? To share with you what a top affiliate I am? Who cares? Why am I telling you these stories? To share with you how much money I make? Who cares? Serious, who cares? I'm trying to make a point with you. Ryan Angelo, I know a lot of you guys know him. Amazing man. Love him to tears. Put out a new product. I'm one of the interviews that he did on it. And so Ryan calls up, and Ryan goes, hey, listen, let's do a little soft launch. Let's just send it out to your list and a couple other people's lists and blah, 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 blah. And, okay, no big deal. See, if Ryan Angelo calls you up tomorrow, let's say Tim Irway, who is the CEO of Magnetic Sponsoring, calls you up tomorrow and goes, hey, Mary, I'm really excited. I think you're really cool. I saw you on Facebook. Listen, I want to do a little mini launch with you. I'm going to give you access to a product that nobody else has. I'm going to give you dibs, and I'm going to give you the first shot at sharing it with anybody, so you're totally going to clean up. If Tim Irway calls you tomorrow and says that, are you prepared? if you get an email from Ori Bengal, I'm going to show you Ori. I want to get you pissed off tonight. I want to get you angry. I want to get you thinking. And those of you that know me for a while, I want you to be so pissed off that you didn't do this the first time I told you. And I want you to make a commitment that you will not let the year end. This is Ori. What is he kissing here? Well, first of all, let's look at Ori's. Bob, talk about pictures. What do you think of that picture, Bob?
Whoa.
Can you guys see it yet? There you go. There's the chicks. Okay, talk about serious marketing there. And his thing is couchsurfingori.com. And I'm trying to figure out what it is that he's kissing. Oh, that's very bad. Let's take that away. Anyway, did you see it?
Yeah. Please take it away.
Should be censored for the family. Kathy, we need to edit on this one.
I'm going to edit this one, yes.
You know what? If you're a young guy that has access to a little mammal that swims in the water, you can do that, whatever. Point being, if he calls you up or he meets you, right? You meet this guy, you meet him on the internet, and he goes, hey, what's going on? You go, hey, what's going on? And he says, hey, I got a cool product and this, and that. And you go look him up and you find out he's a huge internet marketer. And he says, hey, do you want to play? You want to do a mailing on it? And you don't got no list. How much money? I want you to think about it. All the examples I'm giving you. How much money do you think you've lost over the last 2 years? I mean, really think about it. How much money have you lost on missed opportunities because you haven't done this? How much money have you lost because you have not invested in some attraction marketing training and mentorship? And those of you that might be part of the attraction marketing group right now, how much money have you lost claiming that you're confused? Oh, she's mean tonight, Kathy. I just did a Home Business Radio Network radio show yesterday, and I was talking about the meanest, most horrible teacher I had in high school and how, God rest her soul, she was the best teacher I ever had. Thank God for her.
Yep.
She was evil. Oh, she terrorized children. She was like, any of you guys do you guys remember Chitty Chitty Bang Bang?
Mm-hmm.
Remember the child catcher, and he'd come and he had the like the little cart, and he'd go candy, and then he'd go meow, and he would be evil, and the whole thing would turn into a cage. If those of you that are old enough to remember, and if not, go look up Chitty Chitty Bang Bang. She was like that. She looked like that guy. She was scary. She was like I don't know. Anyway, the worst mentors, the ones that are the meanest, the ones that push you the hardest, the ones that could care less about if they hurt your feelings, boo, 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 are the ones that you will look back later on and you will say, thank God they pushed me. I want you right now, because I hope you all have a notebook, I want every single one of you to sit, and I want you to just make a little note about how many opportunities you have missed and how much money you have lost because you have not done this. And I want you to think about, if you become consistent now, how long will it be until you have 93 recruits and $10,000 in a week? See, the reality is I shouldn't teach you this junk because then you go beat me. Here, let me show you. Let me show you what goes on. Where'd she go? Let's refresh. Let's refresh. Let's see if she pops back up. I saw her a minute ago. Oh, no. Now she won't come back up. We got this little monkey guy. Monkey with glasses. He's cute. You see, when I teach people this stuff, if they have gumption, if they believe in themselves, if they decide that they must be in the top 20% or better, if they know that it's true, if they stop sucking their thumb, oh, she's mean tonight, Kathy, what happens is they pick it up and they almost always will surpass me. Why? Because of everything I told you. ADHD, kids, this and that, have a hard time paying attention, have a hard time typing, have a hard time doing this. I'm willing to strip naked and figuratively, you know, and explain to you everything that is wrong with me. So if I can do this, And if students, I'm looking for Rachel McGregor because she has an ad going. She has a product out. She just did My Lead System Pro's Wednesday webinar. They're developing a product with her. By the end of the year, she's going to be so huge.
Yeah.
It's going to be stunning. But Rachel made a decision, and she said, I must be at the top of the heap. Rachel made a decision and said, she lives in Scotland, and she said, nobody's running events over here. We're going to run events and bring in the top marketers. Rachel made a decision and said, nobody's running webinars for people in Europe. I'm going to take responsibility to do this. Rachel made a decision and said that I'm really not that good at writing copy. I'm going to work every single day and learn how to write copy. So do I think that Rachel, among other people that I've worked with, can just all of us, and by the way, I'm not taking credit for Rachel. Please do not, I don't want anybody to go back and say Diane said this and that. Rachel's worked extensively with Dagan Smith. That's the other telltale sign. Somebody who wants to do, they're lining up different mentors in different areas. She's worked relentlessly, and we've spent many, many hours talking about positioning and packaging and her story and helped her package offers and so on, but she has worked relentlessly on her writing and so on. Do I think that Rachel, right opportunity, at this stage of the game can do this? I do. I do, if it's the right offer that she's sending them into. Do I think that this is hard to do? I don't. I don't. But do I think that everything has to do with opportunities showing up and having the list to drop the offer into? Mm-hmm. Has everything to do with it. And then do I think that everything has to do with your relationship with your list? See, I'm not doing a sales call tonight. I think I did one last week. Okay? So tonight, I'm just teaching and talking and I'm being straight up. Now, in the beginning, I built the list slow. Why? Because that's all I knew how to do. I did flyers and pull tabs and signs on the side of the road, and then I learned how to do a blog, and then I learned how to do this, and then I learned how to do that. I built the list slow. It's all I knew how to do. I asked people, hey, can I put you on my list? I still do that today. By the way, if you're on the line tonight and you're not on my list at DianeHochman.com, I said it last week, I'll say it again, you're kooky because you can watch me. It's called the swipe file. Don't you want to see the 2 emails that recruited 93 people? Mm-hmm. Don't you want to see, don't you want to get on Frank Kern's list and this one's list and that one's? Everybody goes, I'm so overwhelmed. I can't read all the emails. Can you imagine a medical student going, I'm so overwhelmed. I can't do all the scriptures, Kathy.
Yeah. Yeah.
Bob, I'm so overwhelmed. I can't do the lab experiments. I think I'll just watch. Maybe I'll just cut down and I'll just stop going to the lab for a few weeks and see what happens.
But I really want to be a professional, so I'm going to keep hanging around and watching because I really want to be a professional, but I'm just too overwhelmed to do it.
Yep. I go back to the top. Again, they're going to start leaving now.
Yeah,
because they're mad. Because I'm showing them the truth that if they took the next 6 months to a year and did this, and they plugged into attraction marketing with us, and they plugged in and they studied and they worked, and they got rid of this mind babble that says it's overwhelming and it's confusing. If they plugged in and made a decision, if they decided they were worth being in the top 20%, by the end of the year, come January 1st, they could drop that email. And maybe they wouldn't sign 93 people and do 10,000, but maybe they'd sign 6 people and do 1,000. And that would be pretty remarkable. Because you have to understand, guys. You have to understand. I'm not preaching. I'm not pepping you. I'm not this. See, I hope that most people don't do this. Because the more people that do it, that's not so good for me, And yeah, like an idiot, I keep teaching. Why do I keep teaching people? Because I know most people won't take any of what I teach them. Isn't that evil and horrible? I know that most people will not decide, get pissed off enough, have enough gumption to see it through and study and work. I say to people, I have students that work with me that paid me good money. I say, write every single day, write a letter to your list. I'm on your list. I'll see it. I'll correct it. Within 90 days, you'll be an awesome copywriter. How often do they write? Once every 10 days. And then what they do is they take swipe copy from someone else. They don't practice. What can I do? What can I do? List equals freedom. List equals money. List equals, pride is the wrong word, but like feeling good, feeling confidence. That's the word I want, confidence. Why do I prance around like I do? Because I know I have a list. If you take away my list, I'm a chicken in the corner. I'm afraid to call people. I don't want to talk to people. I'm in the corner. I'm a big fat chicken. Give me my list, confident, peacock, strutting around. Take away my list, you find a very different woman. Very different woman. Okay? But the most important thing is list equals power. Okay? List equals power. How do you get on the stages at the big events? How do you get the joint ventures? Whoever owns the eyeballs gets the money. What does that mean? Some of you have heard me say it before. The reason why the Super Bowl, whoever's running the Super Bowl, can charge so much for those ads is simple. They know that millions and millions and millions of Americans are coming to watch. Therefore, they control the eyeballs. Therefore, they can charge pretty much whatever they want, and they will sell that ad space. Now go to like some back cable channel on Tuesday afternoon. Kathy, you ever watch cable or something on Tuesday afternoon and they keep playing the same commercial? You know, like when I was home with the kids and they were little, back when I was broke, I used to watch the Learning Channel, and I'd watch all the shows about people having babies. I don't know what that show's called, but there's shows about people having babies and stuff. Kathy, are you there? Hello?
Guess we lost her.
Oh, it got all quiet. Can you hear me?
I hear you.
Okay. I got all paranoid. She might have had noise in the background. The dog was barking or something. But I used to watch these shows. And guys, if you don't know Bob Clark, by the way, Bob is a PhD, and he helps people that have, what do you call it, Bob? Like problems conceiving and so on and so forth.
Exactly.
So he works with folks, and he's, you know, creates miracles with people. So I was obsessed. I had my 2 kids I wasn't going to have anymore, and I was obsessed with watching these shows about having babies and all this other stuff. And on that show, it would be the same Pampers commercial 26 times because there was only a handful of people watching, so they couldn't get the eyeballs. So whoever owns the list, whoever owns the eyeballs has the power. And you have to grasp that. I don't care how many phone calls you make. I don't care how many dials, how many people you prospect, how often you go to the mall and ask people if you could show them a way. That's not going to change it, because the next morning you still have to get up and go to the mall again. The next morning you still have to make 50 dials again. If you own a list, you have perennial power. And that can either intimidate you or it can excite you to no end. When I learned about this, I became obsessed. Obsessed. I'm talking obsessed with building a list. So here's the anatomy of a $10,000 week. Okay, and I'm not talking 10K that's built up like somebody who earns 10K a week because they've been in their program for so long. I'm not talking that 10K like that. I'm talking about creating a brand new 10K week. The anatomy of a 10K week is 1, have a great offer. Okay. 2, it has to be an offer that pays a big enough commission. By the way, I'm going to teach you about the 10K week, and then I'm going to bring it down to the $1,000 week. And then I'm going to bring it down to a $100 week. And the reason why is because you can't even conceive of this. You can't even imagine this until you've done 100 and 1,000. Okay? A lot of people, they want to go from 0 to 10,000. It doesn't work that way. I just want you to see how possible it is and give you the steps to get there. So 1, you got to have a great offer. And then 2, you have to have an offer that pays big enough. okay? If your offer pays $5 a person, you need an awful lot of people to get to 10,000 and so on, okay? You need to be able to, you need to have a list, okay? And you need to send emails to that list inviting them to view a presentation. And the presentation has to be compelling. So, let's break this down, okay? If you go out and you buy a list, a lot of people want to buy a list. You go out and you buy a list, and you send them emails, and they don't know who you are and don't trust you, will they open it? They won't, right? So therefore, this is no good. So first of all, you got to have a great offer. I'm hoping that you're involved in a program that's great. If not, ask the person that invited you here. They have great stuff. Hopefully you have a program that's great and or different offers and things, okay? Hopefully you have an offer that pays you enough commission so that you can get some traction. You're working on building your list. You're understanding this has to be done every single day, and you need to study and learn ways to build that list faster and faster. That's why I recommend My Lead System Pro. Guess what they're doing this week? Rob Forr's coming out Wednesday night, and he's going to teach us all about Panda and Google and how it works, et cetera, why it works. So he's going to educate us, and he's an expert. In fact, I was talking to Rob today about some other stuff. He's an expert. We have an expert coming in to teach us all this stuff about Google that we want to learn if we want to be internet marketers. That's included. Okay? Whether you do it here, whether you do it somewhere else, whatever you want to do, you need to get trained about new and faster ways to build your list. You need to send out emails to that list. The list needs to have a relationship with you so that they actually show up, and then you bring them down to a presentation, and the presentation has to be compelling, not compelling, or interesting. Okay? Now, can you do it like this every single week? No. And the reason why is because let's say you're promoting whatever your primary program is. The offer is always the same. So therefore, it's not compelling. It's not getting someone to make a decision that moment. What we have, guys, is a time quantity, a time limit. Okay? If an offer is compelling, it has a time limit, and it often has a quantity limit. You guys ever notice that you have to buy by, it closes out at, you know, midnight on Friday, and there's only 250 available? You ever notice that? The reason why is because these things are compelling. These two things cause people to make decisions. Okay? Now, can you take your program that you already have and make it compelling and add time limits and quantity limits? Sure you can, because you can add a bonus. You can limit how many people you're taking. You can add a special course. You can add coaching. You ever notice that? Guys, I do this all the time when people are looking at my primary program. I add bonuses and different things. I make offers to them. So you want to learn how to do this. Again, if you're part of My Lead System Pro, there's units on all of this. If you study with me, I cover all of this. It's in, you know, it's in the different trainings and things I do. I have summer school right now. We're covering, you know, all of this. Last week it was compelling headlines. This week it's compelling emails. And then it's going to be irresistible offers. If you're coming to my event, I know Bob and several other people are coming. It's called Pitch Fest. The information will be on out of it. We did a little pre-launch. We'll open that back up for people. I'm doing two, one in Connecticut, one in Vegas. During those events, we're covering how to make an offer. So these things right here, this is the formula. It's very simple. It's very simple. But guess what? None of it works if you don't do this. And none of it works if you don't sit down and spend the next so many months studying and learning how to do this. If you make the decision and you study and you learn how to do this, not only can you have $10,000 weeks, I'm going to now show you the anatomy of a $10,000 day. Okay? And I could go bigger, but we won't. Okay? The $10,000 day is simple, which is often it's a one-time event in front of someone else's audience. Time limit is built in because it's a one-time event. Quantity limit. Some of you guys are like, this is making my head hurt. I'll bring you back. Hot offer that has a perceived value of much more than the price. Okay, you two math geniuses. If you have a $500 offer that you're making in front of an audience of 200 people at a seminar or something like that, or on a webinar, how many people do you need to sell to make $10,000? $10,000 divided by 500.
It's 20.
There?
It's 20.
20.
Yeah.
That's it. That's all it is. So 20 sales.
I'm reaching for my calculator.
Yeah. She's the math and science whiz over here. It's kind of frightening to me. How many eggs are in that Petri dish? I don't know. Let me get my calculator. Okay. 20 sales equals $10,000.
What can I tell you?
Now, if somebody puts you in front of 200 hot, hungry buyers that they put in a room, and so that's the list, you got a hot offer, they perceive the value to be more than $500, they feel like it's a really good deal, it's worth a lot more, and they have to buy it now because the day's going to end, the seminar is going to be over. How hard is it to make 20 sales?
Not hard
It's
at all.
not.
Mm-mm.
Okay? So what I'm trying to do is I'm trying to remove the mystery of all of this. Because now let's break it down and let's back up. We're almost done. And I want you guys to see that you can do this. Is everybody seeing? Let me put the hands down. Is everybody seeing that I'm showing you a formula? Raise your hands if you see that I'm showing you a formula. Okay, good. Hands are going up. And let me ask you a question. Would it be worth spending a little bit of time, 90 days to 6 months, studying and learning the formula so that you could possess it for the rest of your life and get rich?
Oh, yeah.
Or do you want to get rich, get rich quick? I mean, if you go for something that promises you to get rich quick, you don't possess this for the rest of your life. Even if you can't execute it now, can you see it? Even if you can't do it right now, because I'm going to show you how to do $100, even if you can't do it right now, can you see why we are firm believers in learning attraction marketing, being a part of My Lead System Pro, reading Mike Diller's book, Magnetic Sponsoring, 100 times. If you don't have it, I'll show you where you can get it. And studying and learning with people that have acquired this skill. That if you want a lasting and secure home business that's going to take care of your family, isn't it better to be consistent and put this together so that you have the power? Guys, the reason why I talked about my finances at the beginning of the call is not to share my finances with you, but think about it. I'm 45 years old. I didn't start all of this until I was 32, and it took me so many years to figure junk out, and I was raising babies, et cetera, et cetera. If I were to do it all over again, I could learn it much quicker. We didn't have the internet. We didn't have the training. MLSP didn't exist, et cetera. So it took me a long time to hunt this information down. But if I could be 45 and free, what could you be? And if you're a little bit older than me, don't you want to be free so you can travel and do all the fun stuff? If you're a little bit younger than me, especially if you have young kids, can you see what I'm showing you? Can you see what's possible for you? And is it worth it? I have nothing here to sell you tonight but you back to yourself. If you want to come hang out with us, it costs $10 to come hang out. What I'm trying to show you is that you can do this. What I'm trying to show you is that it is possible. What I'm trying to show you is that there is hope, and it is just not that complicated. So here's the formula. Here's what I did when I started. I knew nothing, right? What I knew is I had a cousin who had lost a bunch of weight. I knew that every time we sold a program I could make $100, and I knew that if I could put so many people in front of him, that what would happen is the sales would happen. Because I have a compelling offer, a one-day house party. Okay, I'm not suggesting you do house parties if you're not into it. So what I did was I got 20 people to get in front of Dave. Because I didn't know how to present and I didn't know nothing. Okay? What we did was we made 5 sales that day. I made $420 because of the way my pay plan worked. Okay, I got 20 people That was my list, people I knew. I got 20 people in front of Dave. He was the compelling offer. The guy had lost 120 pounds. They just looked at him and were like, okay, great. He was the compelling offer. It was a one-day thing. We didn't know how to offer a bonus, so we didn't know there were no bonuses, no nothing, because we didn't know what we were doing. He didn't know what he was doing. I didn't know what he was doing. And then in my pay plan, if you sold $1,000 worth of product, which is what we sold, you made $420. That was the formula. Now, the only problem was that a month later, I couldn't repeat this because I had no list. I just blew everybody. No list equals weak equals no sales. So what I started doing was, instead of worrying about the 15 people didn't buy that day, I figured out that if I went back and I asked people, can I put you on my list in case you know anyone? And I started to compile a list, and what happened was my list got up to about 500 people, for people I met, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. All of a sudden, again, I had list equals power. So every time there was a product launch or a new product that would come out, they would come out with Lose Your Ass, the new, the new hot product that would make you lose your ass. Kathy, you're supposed to laugh. Are you with me? Somebody laugh. They're gone. Thank you, Bob. Lose Your Ass, the new fat burner, the new Lose Your Ass fat burner, okay? And then what would happen is I had 500 people, list equals power. Whoops. Equals cash, right? I'd send an email to 500 people, and I'd say, hey, we have a new product called Lose Your Ass, and it makes you lose your ass. It's absolutely great. Let me know if you want a bottle. And the orders would come pouring in. It's because I had 500 eyeballs, earballs, eyeballs, whatever.
Hey,
Actually,
Diane,
really, I had 1,000. Yes, Bob?
I just don't want people to gloss over what you just said before about what you say to people to get them on your list. In other words, you just say basically, can I put you on my list in case you know anyone? And that takes away the whole selling part of it. Will you please buy something from me? And it's so much easier to do than trying to get someone on your list for another purpose. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. And the thing that's messed up, again, if you're more advanced, let's chat. We can talk about all kinds of list building techniques, and of course they're all inside of My Lead System Pro. But for those of you that haven't really gotten going with this, everybody's so busy trying to learn some fancy doohickey technique that months go by, they could have had 500 people, but instead they have a beautiful sparkly blue blog. And Bob, you resemble that remark originally when Bob had a great blog and everything, but he didn't build the kind of list he wanted. When he started employing some of these incredible techniques and seeing all the different ways he could get people and accumulate people and everything without bugging them, without selling them, the list grows. Now all you do is you drop an email. So this is the type of thing where you got a new product. There's a new. Those of you that are promoting Ray Higdon's launch this week, it's $118 a clip. If you have 150 people on your list that know you, like you, and trust you, do you think you might make 2 sales? And if you make 2 sales, you just made $240. Ka-ching, in your pocket. Mm-hmm. Somebody like me, I work a launch like that, I make thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars. And people will go, well, that's because you're you, and that's because this, and you know Ray Higdon. I did it before I knew anyone. I did it before anything. How do you think they got to like me and want me? The reason why all the big guys wanted to hang out with me wasn't because of my scintillating personality. I'm weird. It wasn't because I'm slick. It wasn't because of my dazzling good looks. It was because I had a list and I had eyeballs. Why do you think they put me on the stages as these things? Because I have a list and I have eyeballs. I'm older than all of them. I'm fatter than all of them. I'm weirder than all of them. Why do they bring me? Because I have eyeballs. If you would, here we go. If you would just start, here's the closing notes. It's 10 o'clock. If you would just start collecting eyeballs. I'm going to be the queen of collecting eyeballs. If you would just start collecting eyeballs today, you can get rich. There you go.
Just give me an idea for a great Facebook cover.
There you go.
There you go.
Collecting. I'm going to go get some cool eyeball graphics and stuff like that. Go collecting little rolling eyeballs. If you would just start collecting eyeballs and hearts, you know, if you can collect some hearts, it's even better, because if people trust you and feel great about you, they're more likely to buy. But if you can collect eyeballs that know you and know who you are and will read what you say, then what happens is it takes on a life of its own, because Aunt Mary doesn't want you to corner her and sell her your shake mix. But Aunt Mary probably knows somebody at work who just had a baby who needs to take off 30 pounds fast. And she could be working on your behalf if you didn't bug her. And when you send out an email that says, hey, we got the new Lose Your Ass Fat Burning Formula, Aunt Mary's going to tell the girl at work. But if you bug her, Aunt Mary will never talk to you. And if you could get this, it's the same with all the relationships we have. You know, I sign up people every single week that are just like, you're just cool about it, because I have their eyeballs. Mm-hmm. And you're here tonight, guys, because you either saw my email or you were invited by one of my partners, or you saw something on Facebook and you went, what is that? Now you know it's all about collecting eyeballs. You came down to find out, and you are a set of eyeballs right now. So this is what I'm going to do. And then we're done. We're so out of here. If anybody has a question, I'll hang out for a few minutes, as I always do. For those of you that came here by my invitation, if you want to take a look at our attraction marketing thing, it's dianehochman.com/MLSP, stands for My Lead System Pro. You know, Kathy, do you have a specific link to them?
I think mine's the same, to be honest with you.
Okay, so Kathy Heath. And you can get back to any of us, whoever is the appropriate person. Please go back to the appropriate person. It's the right thing to do. Bob, you got a hooked up link to them or anything?
Yeah, it's the same thing, bobandrosemary.com/MLSP.
See how well my people are trained?
Oh, yeah.
Okay, and if you were invited here by anybody other than us, please get back with them. If you're invited here by Vanessa, this one, that one, you know, or shout out who you were invited by. We'll try to get that link for you. You know, it's really just straight up common sense. It's really just straightforward, but you now have the anatomy of a $10,000 week, a $10,000 day, a $400, $500 day. If you collect the eyeballs and you drop the offer, if the offer is suited to the list, you will make money. It's really that simple. It's not more complicated than that. And the choice is yours, whether you want to accept this information or whether you want to keep, you know, running around looking for the magic thing. Tomorrow and this week, you're going to hear, you know, and again, we have Ray coming in Monday night. You're going to hear a lot of people going, you know, he went from broke to gazillionaire, and he this, and he has an extra eyeball, and he's this, and he sparkles gold, and he's the bionic man, and
he wears a silver suit,
and yeah, and he does this for free, and his dog is cute, and everybody's going to be screaming. You know what Ray is? Ray's a guy that collected eyeballs, and he was very consistent and very diligent. And he's no different than Tim Irway, Mike Dillard, any of us that do this. It's just not that, it's not rocket science. It's not a mystery. The question becomes, will you accept what it is and make the commitment to do the diligence? I've never met a person more consistent than Ray Higdon, period. Now, I've never met somebody as wacky as me, because I'm just all over the map. So, you know, Ray is just extremely consistent. He's extremely diligent, and he's an incredible guy. But so are you. So aren't you? And is there anybody on the line that can't start to accumulate this? And if you can't, well, let's face it, you already learned first part of the call, Pareto's principle. You got to be in the top 20% if you want to make the money. And if you don't believe that you can do this, you got to hang it up. Ooh. So that's it. Kath, I don't know if anybody, let me check the page and see if anybody wrote anything in or if anybody needs anything. You check your side, I'll check
the
my side.
The Q&A box, everybody's just kind of laughing.
At me? They're always laughing at me.
Well, Diane, you know, you're funny. You're funny. I'm serious.
Let's see. Where's the part where...
I had to mute myself because there was some noise here, and I'm sitting here cracking up. You couldn't hear me laughing.
Let's see. T, if you don't got that list, girl, you better take a look. T's known me for a long time. Linda's just laughing at me. Awesome.
Wow.
So we'll saw.
Wow.
All right. Anybody say anything else? Nobody's left me any love notes here. I feel the
wow. There's one question. Aaron asked a question. Can this information work for offline stuff at all?
Of course it can. I just told you how I did it offline.
There you go.
The first $420 I made was completely made off. I'd say the first $20,000 I made was made offline.
There you go. There you go. And this is, it just makes me say, wow.
Wait. Let me clarify that.
Sure.
Erin, if you don't have a capture page and all this other stuff, what you need to do is go down to Staples or Office Max, get a 5x8 card file box and a bunch of cards.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
And then you start collecting people and you put all the people on those cards. You can't automate it because you can't call them all at once and you can't email them all at once, but you still are databasing everybody. You could do a mailing. By the way, guys, I've made, I don't know how much money doing postcard and booklet mailings. You can do a mail. If you have a list and you mail the list, you know, we use email because it's cheap and it's instant. I like online because it's instant. I get instant gratification. I have no attention span, I've told you. But how many people have done this with mail order? Hello. This is called direct response marketing. It's magic. You compile a list, you drop offers into them, you get rich.
Yep.
And it's been around since mail existed,
Yep.
which is a long time.
Yep.
I wonder during the Pony Express whether there were BizOp offers. There probably were.
I'm sure there were probably BizOp offers back in ancient Rome and Greece too. So,
well, you figured they always used to talk about the salesman that would go from town to town. So, I mean, let's face it, they'd go from town to town selling the magic, magic cure-all that you drink. Of course, it was alcohol. So, no wonder why you felt better when you were drinking it. It's really good stuff. Makes you feel better, Kathy. But, they would go town to town because they didn't have a means to compile. But what would happen is people would know when the show, or even with churches and stuff, they had revivals. The revival would come into town, and people would know when it was coming. And the people who had been last time, who were touched by whether it was the sales guy or whether it was revival or something, they'd all run down to the center of town again because they were excited that that person was back. So in a way, they were building a list. They just didn't have the ability to, they couldn't make a phone call and go, hey, we're coming on Tuesday, because it didn't exist.
right.
But,
Right.
when I started my business, autoresponders didn't exist. You guys got to grasp, actually, I take it back. Autoresponders existed. They were $100 a month, which back then was a lot of money, and you could only send out 4 letters at a time. And people complain, AWeber costs too much. Okay.
Yeah, so it's so expensive.
You could only load 4 letters. And you had a limit of, I think, I don't know how many people you could put in there. That was it. So what we have today, the idea that I could shoot a video and send it out to a couple thousand people at a time, it just gives me goosebumps. So online, offline, inline, outline, upline, downline. You could do it any way you want.
There you go. There you go.
Anyone else, or are they done with
Oh, no, they're not done with you. Phil said, this has been great. And this is what made me say, wow, Diane. I've been writing fast, and I learned one big thing. Had I built a list 14 years ago, when we lose people through attrition, we would still be ahead instead of at a loss.
Bingo! Thank you, Phil. Is that Phil Ballard? Which Phil?
Yep.
Phil
Ballard.
Yep. Yep. Guys, see, I never worry. One of the reasons why I'm so kind of all this mojo the way I behave, the reason why I behave this way is because I don't need anyone. There is no begging in my game. There is no convincing, oh, please stay. Oh, please recruit someone. Oh, please come to the webinar. See, I don't have to worry about that. I don't have to worry about that. People who, my philosophy is love the one you're with, like the old song. If they show up and they're working, I'm working with them, I'll help them all day. They don't show up, there's somebody else that wants to work. And all of that convincing and cajoling doesn't exist in my life anymore. And it makes me awful happy. If you knew that you could make $10,000 dropping 2 emails and do 1 webinar, would you try to convince anyone? The reason why I'm here tonight preaching to you is because I want you to adopt this, because I want you to be free. I could care less if you do it. I'm not talking to you, Phil. I'm talking to everybody. You have a choice. It's up to you. Hey, guys, by the way, this is the public group that I started up. Wow. I'll put it on my wall so you guys can find it. I didn't name it properly yet in here. You can search for Diane Hochman in groups or something, but this is open to the public. All my other ones are private and secret. And you're not invited unless you're in one of our things. So there.
Or you pay me handsomely.
Yeah. I'll put it here, and I'll put it on my other wall so you guys can find it. But that's it. Anyone else want me? Need me? Call me, beat me if you want to meet me. Let me
We've
give
got just some requests about, I got on late. Was this recorded? That kind of thing.
No, we never record them. They're absolutely, everybody always asks, was this recorded? Was this recorded? Every word that falls from my lips is recorded because I'm delusional and I think it's valuable. Whether or not we share it, we never know. We take a listen and we see if the sound quality is good, if we like the content, what we did. Can I promise you this will go out? No, because there was a naughty bit in there.
I'm good at editing, though.
Ori,
I'm good at editing.
I know. I'm not worried about it. Ori, it's double entendre, as they say. But will it go out? I don't know. We'll see. I'll see what I think about it.
Okay.
That's why you got to be here.
Like your style of webinar. Here's a question that I don't even know that we know the answer. Because I don't understand.
I know everything, Kathy. Don't you know?
I don't understand.
And if I don't know, Bob knows. Bob knows everything.
Okay, well then I'm going to leave it up to you two.
Bob knows the secret of life.
Yes, well that we all know. Okay, now is MLSP just the same sign up for everybody that joins, or is it up to you what you promote? I thought it was all the same offer.
Okay, I'm not sure I understand that question.
Exactly.
But let me say a couple things.
Yeah.
One, there's all different pages that you can use to promote MLSP itself. You can make income there, or you can just use your training. And two, you're able to connect any opportunity you want to MLSP. So whatever program you're with, whatever multi-level, whatever you're promoting affiliate program, you can connect whatever you are already doing to your MLSP marketing funnels. So I don't know if that answered the question. If it didn't, state it one more time. Different people, you can create custom pages in there. You can use, they have done for you, pre-set up, pre-made, beautiful pages with autoresponder letters already written for you. But they also have the ability to create your own pages, your own headlines, your own videos, and everything custom. So it just matters. It just depends on you. The reason why I like MLSP is because of the training. You can get a capture page anywhere. I'm not supposed to say that. Brian Finale will beat me up. You can get this, you can get certain things anywhere. Nobody has a training library like them and accessible. You have, for the price point that it's at, and the fact that you can earn a lot of money with them, you have access to most of the top internet marketers in our niche.
Yep.
Their training for included. And so it's kind of like you don't have to pick just one. You want to work with me? Great. You also can get access to Michelle Pascasolino and Ray Higdon and Rob Four and David Wood, and we're all in there. So that's what's so magical about MLSP.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And they're fun.
Yes,
Oh,
they
by
are.
the way, tomorrow night I'll post it, but tomorrow night I'm doing their total transformation mindset call tomorrow night. It is a members-only call, but I'm allowed to invite people because I'm doing it, so I will share that. Kathy will share that, Bob. Whoever else wants to share it. I am doing that tomorrow night. If you need some mindset, I am doing that call mañana. It's 10:15, Kath.
It sure is.
I think we're done.
I think so.
For those of you that do join My Lead System Pro with one of us, please get back with us and let us know that you've done that. Of course, we'll see you come through. We'll put you into our private group. You'll have access to all kinds of cool stuff that we have in there. If you're with someone else in MLSP, I'm sorry I can't let you have that, but you can come to the public group. And for those of you that oh, look at this, my daughter the gambler. Diane Hochman is now above 18, and she bought a scratch-off lotto ticket and won $2. It's the start of something bad.
Oh, she needs to go to the Cosmopolitan with me.
Yeah, great. No, thank you, no. She's almost 19. Exactly, so you doubled your money. You're loaded.
There you go.
Oh, it's the first time she's ever bought a scratch ticket just because she could. So. Guys, before we go, last thing too, just so you know, next couple of weeks, kooky, crazy, good times. I'm in Cancun next week, company incentive trip. I'm excited. Kathy, they just sent us a thing. They're sending us to the spa.
Are they?
Devastated about that. The week after, Colorado, milehighmlmsummit.com, milehighmlmsummit.com. My buddies Jordan Schultz and Adam Chandler are putting on an incredible event. If you know anybody in Colorado, Linda Cromar will be there, a bunch of other people out that neck of the woods. If you're in the Southwest, incredible opportunity to get some high-level training. I will be doing here in Connecticut. We have Pitch Fest coming up July 22nd. Watch my page for 21st and 22nd. Watch my page for more info on that. Several of you have already secured their spots. We do have a few spots left. We're also going to do one out in Vegas, which is being booked. We're in Orlando for a week. I'm speaking at a special event, which I can't talk about yet. And then I'll also be at my primary company's convention, so I'll be in Orlando for a week. If any of you are down that way looking to get together, we can. And then last but not least, this Saturday, any of you in the New Jersey area, I will be in Newark, New Jersey, primary company event that you're absolutely welcome to, so I can sign you up. No, but seriously, if you want to come by afterwards and hang out, I'll be there for a little while afterwards to hang out, maybe do some lunch. So that's it. That's the rundown. Both of my children are dancing right now for me, which means it's time to go. Next week, Monday night, Ray Higdon. Hey, guys, if you're looking at his ProBlog Academy, don't buy yet until you see what we got for you. It's really, 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 really good. So you may want to take a peek at what we have. Everybody and their uncle is going to be hawking this thing. So
No kidding.
It should be quite the circus
kidding.
for a week. But we'll have Ray here personally that you can grill him. We will not be doing the typical, showcase. We will be doing let's poke fun at Ray and have a good time type of webinar. He's a spectacular guy, and his courses are awesome. So what?
Do we do anything that's typical?
No.
No.
I refuse. It's my party, and I'll be weird if I want to. So thank you, everybody, for being here tonight. Tell your friends, bring them down, join us, and then I can help sell stuff for you, too. You, too, can utilize the mouth of the Hochman for your earning pleasure. All right, guys, I'll see you on Facebook. Shoot me a note if you want to say hi. I appreciate all of you that were here. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye.
Good night, everybody.